Hey everybody, welcome to Speedbump. It's time for Mystery Race Night of a game. Video game.
Ooh.
Of the Great Cave Offensive of Kirby Superstar. Points battle for 30 minutes. And I am ready to go. We'll get the fine-tuning on these crops after they start.
Alright, well, I'll give them the countdown. We had a fun Kirby race last week. If you weren't here for it, you missed it, and that's awful for you. But we did a 3-pack of games that were all spring themed, and one of them was Kirby Spring Breeze. And it's been on my mind, wanted to do some more Kirby, so tonight we're doing the Great Cave Offensive, which if you've never played Great Cave Offensive, it's pretty cool. It's a Kirby Metroidvania. I feel like that's not really an appropriate term for it, but you know, hunting for treasure, and most of them are optional. You don't have to collect all of the treasure, but each one's worth a different amount, and our players right now are challenging themselves to see who can get the most gold in 30 minutes.
Yes. So Kirby has more exploring power than most Metroidvanias end with, which is why it wouldn't be a Metroidvania. But it is an exploring game.
It's a search action.
That's right. It's a quest. A little pink guy who can float, eat things, and make friends, and have them fight with him.
I've always been a big fan of this game mode, but I haven't played a lot of Kirby games, and people keep telling me that Kirby and the Amazing Mirror is basically just this turned into a full game, and I keep meaning to play it.
Heard of that one.
This actually has the potential to be the perfect challenge in the perfect amount of time. The world record for 100%ing Great Cave Offensive is 20 minutes. So I don't think our players are going to get anywhere near there, and I don't think we're going to see any max outs or anything like that. But I think that our players have the potential, if they kind of know what they're doing and really move with purpose, to get some pretty high scores here.
Yeah, if somebody knew the game, there's some treasures that are worth like 10, and other ones are worth millions. So you have to decide, I don't know about millions, but very, very high. And you would just skip the low ones. Like the time you'd finish this game in could be 10 minutes, and you'd have almost all the points.
Yeah, for any of our players who maybe are particularly familiar with Great Cave Offensive, this is definitely a knowledge check. Someone who has a lot of familiarity with this game mode would perhaps be able to just skip tedious things that aren't worth the value. But I think for most of our players, my impression was that most of them aren't super familiar with Kirby Superstar.
I'm watching Patty try to do the challenge for this chest, which is very tight. I think they need to use the slide. I don't think they're going to make it with this, this method here. Oh, there it is. Perfect. They're going to get whatever this reward is.
Hopefully it was worth the trouble.
If they could still finish it off. There's one more door to go. There's an escape tunnel in each one of these sections if you just can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, the ladder, that's the ticket. They're not using the ladder and they need to. Now the reward. It's a big one.
Nice.
Yeah, 200k.
Well, that just shot Patty B's up. Being willing to endure that was definitely worth it. Yeah, the total amount is 9,999,990, not 99, 90. But I don't think that we're going to see numbers quite like that. There's some late game treasures, like if our players push ahead, there are some late game treasures that are worth quite a lot. So the strategy might be, if you're kind of unfamiliar, that you take the gamble and push pretty far in to where the values start going up. Again, I don't know what the best blind strategy would be for this.
Happy partner anniversary, Author Blues.
Hey, thank you. Happy partner anniversary to me,
Yeah.
in particular.
Yeah.
This seems like a really fun one for... I mean, I'm excited to see what our players think of it, because this is, I think, a fun one for a casual blind race. None of our players, unless they have any real solid Kirby Superstar experience, have any real advantage over the other. It's mostly just your search skills.
278,000 for this Zelda mask. We talked about this a bit last time. When you grab a heal in this game, you can share it with your friend.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you do a little smooch, and you share your food. Oh, those implications are harrowing. Yeah, Plasma is definitely the most powerful ability in this game, and it's not even close. Like, the second closest, the second best power-up doesn't do nearly the same DPS, but being good enough to deal large amounts of damage with Plasma involves being able to mash your D-pad appropriately, because to do maximum damage, you have to input any 16 directions on the D-pad. That's how you reach max power.
It's very strange.
Of course, there is a little trick for inputting that better. If you want a little secret from your good friend Author Blues about how to be really good at using the Plasma, the trick is that you might think that like spinning the D-pad is going to be the fastest, but it's actually just alternating up, left, and down, right. It's counting the number of inputs. So just sliding your thumb back and forth, you can max out in a very small amount of movement on the D-pad. I think we lost subwoofers unless... Okay. I didn't know if subwoofers was just like, I am not feeling this, I'm out of here.
Look at that boss.
Me and Sky have been playing through the co-op retro achievements set for this game. There's a set specifically for playing in two-player mode, and one of the, or a large percentage of the achievements are just beat the arena, but you're only allowed to use a single power-up. So like both players are using fire, and then there's an achievement for both players are using cutter. And I have really learned to appreciate how challenging some of these power-ups are and how bad they are. They're not good. They're not all good power-ups.
We have lost subwoofers for real. What a shame.
Yeah, Fatty Wheel's free if you just know how to press the block button.
Kirby's got a hammer. What's your favorite power in this game? Sounds like Plasma.
I mean, Plasma and Jet are both fun, but I think my opinion on them come a lot from the speedrun. The most fun, I think, to play actually is playing Wheelie Rider in two-player mode, because the wheel power-up helper, Kirby can just ride on his back and shoot stars, and it's really powerful and a lot of fun.
pretty big scores already. Everyone's got 500,000.
The only really, I mean, Mirror is a good power-up, but the real asset to Mirror is it's one of the only power-ups for which you don't take chip damage when you block. Like, if you just hold the block button, you take 0 damage on everything. I think only Mirror and Ice have that property.
Return of subwoofers, it looks like, maybe.
Nice.
And, I think Tarragon is in the next stage already.
Yeah, Tarragon's been pushing forward, which my theory is that this might actually be a power play, right? You would imagine that some of the treasures later in the game are going to be better. And we've already burned 10 minutes, right? So at the rate everyone else is going, we're looking at people getting to the end of stage 2, maybe the beginning of stage 3. If Tarragon just pushes forward, I think this game has, what, 4 stages in it? I think if Tarragon just pushes forward, the value of the treasures is going to go up.
They're not hard to reach either. There's 800G. Kami's being very thorough, it looks like. Void Lily has gotten another one. 10G for the saucepan.
Jet's definitely the fastest power-up. That's the one that the speedrun predominantly uses, because just using the jet booster over and over is super fast. And it's a pretty offensively powerful skill. Yeah, I mean, I say that as someone who is no good with using jet offensively, but it is supposedly quite powerful. I think Kirby Superstar succeeds in the same way that I often think of Zelda 2 as succeeding, which is it gives you a lot of really interesting mechanics that you can either choose to not engage with, like you don't have to be particularly good at this game to beat it, or if you're really interested in it, you can learn all of the little really detailed, nuanced quirks of it, and it has a lot of depth to it.
Patty Wells giving some of the players a little bit of business here.
Well, dude lost his helper, but that's unsurprising since your helper, I'm pretty sure, just never blocks.
Subwoofers is barely alive. Getting the random power. Got the mirror.
Need to hold down that block button.
If they could just land the star shot, that would be good enough. There it is.
Going for that attack there rather than just defending was such a bold move.
Dude has also killed the whale. I think just about everyone has. Patty's got a lot of money and is finally getting there.
Tarragon's at a huge deficit, but is definitely the furthest through the game right now, but Tarragon's gonna have to really kick it at this point. Like, the treasures are gonna have to start flowing pretty fast to make up for this, because we're halfway through this race at this point, and Tarragon is...
The Star Thief! Yeah, they don't have a lot of a lead, unfortunately. They have a bit, but they really do need to start getting the money in here. We are 15 minutes in. They have time still to finish the game, even, and get all the treasure probably that they see.
Glass slippers there from subwoofers. That was a huge amount.
Dud 30G.
20,000, I think that was.
This not even being the only part of the game makes this very thorough game design. This is just another kind of mini game in a way.
Yeah. When I told our players that we'd be playing Kirby Superstar again, I got a lot of deja vu after having just played it last week. But that's the thing. There's 6 games in this game.
500k for that one that Tarragon just grabbed. That's a clutch.
Like next week we could play Kirby Superstar again, and it's going to be a totally different game. The only thing this is being ranked on is gold collected. That is the only thing we care about. You could be in the first room of the game, but if you've got the most gold, you win. Yeah, I did give them the caveat that if by chance someone did collect all the treasures, then we'd break the ties based on who did it first, but I no longer worry that that's on the table.
Score check. 1.25 million for Okami.
1.3 on Void.
That's the lead, I think. Tarragon's on the last area, I think, with 738.
Yeah, Dude and Tarragon are pretty much even right now. With subwoofers, is that 5 or an 8? It's a little blurry. That's an 8. Okay, so subwoofers right ahead of that. Void has a solid lead right now. I would say that she's most likely to succeed from here, but Okami's been making up some ground.
There is a 500,000 chest in the area that a lot of the players are in, and so far I've only seen Tarragon grab it. It's why they have any points at all. Alert.
I mean, Tarragon's definitely finding high-value items. Tarragon has already made it up to 988, that is? Like, closing ground pretty well. But I just wonder if it's too late at this point? It's hard to say.
Dude's on the RPG boss.
I hate this boss. This is the most annoying boss in the retro achievement set me and Sky have been doing. Because Kirby's not allowed to die, and the helper's not allowed to die, which means you have to be really judicious with your use of the tomatoes that you get in Arena, and the RPG boss, if you're on a bad power-up, just really can't help but take a decent amount of chip damage. It's a cool boss. I like it a lot, but it's very, very annoying.
How dare you? Nah, I understand. Windows 95 coming at you.
So Tarragon's closed ground, caught up with Subwoofers and Patty Bees. Dude is still ahead, Okami's still ahead, and I'm not sure what Void Lily's score is right now, but she was at 14 or 1.4 million, so. 1.9 million. Wow. Okay.
Big value. Do you get anything for clearing?
I'm not sure. I don't recall whether or not there's like one final treasure at the end.
There's still a lot of room for growth. No one's, what, even 10% of the total? 20% on Void Lily.
No treasures past the final boss. Well, there you have it.
The spring room. You've earned 3 tenderness, 2 beauty, 2 greed.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that Tarragon might overshoot. Like, if Tarragon just races through here, he might hit a point where there just aren't enough treasures left. Yeah, he just raced past the treasure in that room.
How much was that one?
Well, not 0, so it was worth it.
Some of them might as well be 0. Most of them at this point are value. There are 7.5 minutes remaining. This boss is a clobbering.
Our players sure have collected a lot of treasure.
That's true. Void Lily with the big lead still. And it's expanding. There's a 100k treasure.
Damn. Yeah, based on the numbers we know right now, Void Lily has a fairly commanding lead. Okami has been on her heels for a lot of this, but I think she is widening the gap.
Armor, 212k, subwoofers. Subwoofers is actually second place by quite a bit. And they're about to get even more.
Oh, yeah. Subwoofers must have found several really valuable ones, because Subwoofers was tied with Tarragon just minutes ago.
Right. There is a a couple of them are worth hundreds of thousands. I'm not sure what the most valuable one is, but I've seen a couple for $500,000. I don't remember what the best
Someone
one.
said that the most valuable one was Katana for 999,000.
That's pretty damn good. That's a doubler for some of the players right now. Theragon's on their way to the credits. It looks like.
We can probably award $1 for that.
There are 5 minutes left. Yeah, they can go right back into their continue and accumulate more money.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that being an option.
Where does it put them? Oh, they're way back at the beginning.
Back at level 1. But that's kind of cool.
Not the ideal place. You'd rather be in the castle, I imagine.
Well, I'm saying I'm glad that Teragon isn't just like, okay, well, I'll just sit here for 5 minutes.
Yes. They can get some value here. It's possible to get something in the neighborhood of 800,000 from what I saw. Easily enough in the first area.
Alright, well, dude is fighting the final boss now as well. So whatever his score is at is more or less locked in at this point. I mean, he has enough time to clear Wham Bam Rock and then maybe go grab a few more things.
He is the one who was cleared, in fact.
Oh no, poor Teragon. Oh, okay. Alright. This is the valuable treasure from this area.
200.
200,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
Still keeps them out of last place. But Patty's in the area where some big value is. And they have 2 minutes to find it.
No, but our players don't really know how many levels there are, what bosses are what, so dude right now fighting Wham Bam Rock perhaps has no idea that Wham Bam Rock is the final boss and is therefore not valuable.
Yeah, all the time spent on this is easy to call a waste. when you know better. Because every second that you're in here is a second you're not grabbing items.
Yeah, Subwoofer's basically tied up and they're in the same spot now. Subwoofer and Void.
Patty's shooting up. It's very close for last place at the moment. 90 seconds left. The money that Teragon is getting is beating Patty. The one from level 1, the one that came back in for. We're in the final minutes.
One minute remaining.
First place is in contention.
Very much so.
We have 3 players who could take it. 45 seconds left.
Yeah, I would for sure say Okami's not out of the running. I mean, a valuable treasure right now would definitely put Okami into first place as well.
It would appear that there are at least 2 treasures that could take any of them to 3 million. Last call. Get this box. Subwoofers is probably not going to. They're in the minecart. Wait, Lily as well. They're both in the same minecart. Pretty much the same position, in fact. Time is up. No more loot. Void Lily in first. Subwoofer second. Call me third. I think Dude and then Tarragon and Patty are the remaining 3. I'm not sure what Dude's score is though. Tarragon barely beat Patty's. 60k, I think, ultimately.
Oh, I put that in the wrong room. Now I look like a fool.
Dude with 2 million, yeah, is definitely right behind Okami. Nice. Nice work.
What a fun race. Everyone was so close.
This one comes down to just finding the goods. Really investigating.
I'm a big fan of Great Cave Offensive. It was fun to watch a whole bunch of people play blind.
Hey, thanks for playing, everybody. That was cool.
Yeah.
Now that we've done all the Kirby Superstar events.
Well, let's not push it.
Thanks for joining me, Author Blues.
Later.
Have a good one. Oaks. Gonna find somebody to host. Thanks for joining me. We'll be back on tomorrow with some stuff. Let's see who's in retro right now. Juker's playing the worst IGN rated games. Let's see what that list looks like. Have a good one.